Hello everyone. This is a video of the extensive work that has gone into converting a Vanagon diesel into Subaru power. The reason why I'm making this video is to kind of walk you through some of the process in the first startup of the van once everything is hooked up. Some of the things that have gone into this has been pretty extensive fabrication to be able to make the engine fit at all. Diesels are different than gas Vanagons, so there's lots of cutting and welding that you got to do. Get rid of the, you don't have to, but it's much cleaner to get rid of the battery tray that goes over here. That's another little insulation here, which is main reservoir, coolant reservoir bracket, which this will need. And then the biggest part of it is the fitting of the engine, because they do not make a engine carrier for a diesel specifically. We've had to go ahead and modify the existing one that they have, in which we made these boxes that act as spacers and moved basically the bar to be able to fit it. And that of course has to be precise work, because you want the best joints there possible for the needed strength for carrying the engine. So right now basically the engine's in, everything is almost put together. This car also got a rebuilt transmission with a taller fourth gear to give it better RPMs at higher speeds, and which gives better gas mileage, etc. And saves the engine longer. So anyways, there's a few things that are still needing some put together, but that's what we're working on now. So we'll continue working on this until it starts up. Okay, I will pause now. Thanks. So a bit more, we've installed part of the cooling system over here on this side, which is the Vanagon reservoir for the main reservoir for the cooling system. And yeah, so we'll continue. So here we're back with our Subaru conversion on this diesel van. I've continued to do the work needed to basically get it all together. So now we have an intake. All the electrical connections should be connected. So it seems like we are pretty much ready for maybe the first fire up. Vacuum hoses have been connected, breather hoses, etc., etc. So just as any first startup, first thing to do is get oil pressure into a new engine that's been empty for a long time. So what I do here is basically leave this guy disconnected to not have any power to the coil. All right, let's see. We'll do some cranking first, just to try to get some oil pressure and get the oil pressure light to go off. It might take a few times. Okay, so now we'll connect the coil back up, because it smells like we got fuel and everything. Let's see if it'll work. Lifters are kind of loud right now because this engine has never started. But it sounds good. Great, so there it is now for the bleeding, pull and bleeding process and tightening up the last of any loose ends that it's going to need. Thank you for watching. We're back here with this 1982 Vanagon diesel campmobile engine swap. Everything that needed to be done to swap the 1.6 liter engine to the 2.2 liter Subaru engine is done now. And the difference, it's great. Took it for its test drive, its first test drive, and I gotta say that the difference is felt. Well, let's check it out. I'll walk you guys through a little bit of this conversion to see what it looks like. So there it is. This engine is definitely one of the smaller of the Subaru family, but it definitely does the trick. And also it's legal here in California, so we can install these and don't have any problem with referees and passing smog, etc., etc. Besides the engine swap, what took place in this was also a transmission swap. So this car got a later Vanagon transmission with a taller fourth gear, rebuilt transmission with a taller fourth gear. That's mainly due to the fact that diesel transmissions are not suitable for this conversion because of their low gearing. You don't want to have such low gearing with a higher output engine like this. The main things that went into the conversion was the modifications and fabrications that needed to take place to make this fit from the transmission to the engine. Later Vanagon transmissions, they fit into a diesel, but you cannot just drive them straight like that because of the different components. So we had to, I modified the shifter rod and added bushings. That's the way I went about it. And then here I modified the engine cradle and made these spacers of thick metal to precision to support the engine, its vibration and its torque. So now this thing runs like a champ. There was other small things that need to happen for this. I mean, there's various ones, but some of the main ones is removing the battery from the engine compartment and placing it underneath the passenger seat, which is the original place for any other later Vanagon anyways, and actually any Vanagon besides diesels. So that got removed, and this main coolant reservoir bracket was made and welded on there to be able to receive that. And yeah, so that's basically it. Of course, the fuel system had to be completely redone on this to be able to take gas, and other things that needed to be hooked up in the fuel system, was including the evap system, so that we don't have gas fumes just going up into the atmosphere. And this is kind of what it sounds like. So yeah, this engine is, I mean, they're just great. It's great. I mean, like I said, it's the smaller of the conversions, but I mean, they're more than enough to making these Vanagons just run so much better. On the test drive, I took it up some steep grades, and with these engines, I mean, they go up on third gear, no problem, which, you know, doesn't really happen with our regular water boxers or other Vanagons. So yeah, guys, there it is. Hope you liked this video. And this video was brought to you by 523 Rods here in Richmond, California. Thanks very much for watching. Happy travels.